Hey everybody, welcome back in on another fantastic segment. You are in Hog Heaven, and we are in Hog Heaven, joining one of our favorite players on the team. Justin Byrd just inked that contract for 2020.
I did.
Happy to have you back.
Thanks, man. I'm so excited. Been excited. Hoping every day, you just never know as a player. Like we were talking about before, jobs are so hard to come by. So when you finally can put a pen on a paper and know that this is where I'm going to be to start the season, man, it's a great feeling.
You can feel that excitement, especially you had a Facebook post the other day about you get a chance to continue to follow your dreams. And that's what this is about, right? There are so many guys out there who literally get pissed off when they strike out, who are angry after an 0-for-7 stretch. And then there's you who you feel blessed to be able to play the game. You're happy to be out here. And I feel like there's very little that phases you because you're just so happy to be playing baseball.
No doubt. It's a long-term mindset, and that's something that took me a long time to figure out. In baseball, we want everything now, right? We want to be signed now. We want to sign our contract now. We want to, we want to go 4 for 4 today so we can get out of here right now. And that's just that's a recipe for failure. I mean, you're just not going to be happy. And so that long-term minded way of going about your day is just going to lead to success. And so all of a sudden the 0 for 4s don't matter as much. Not that you're okay with it, but you're just not killing yourself mentally. And that's the goal. It's such a long season, such a long career, and I'm just so thankful to have it. But the longer I've been doing it, the happier I am with what's to come instead of just what I'm doing today. So,
one of the other things I noticed, you're looking for any chance you can get to have some ABs right now. I know there's maybe not a ton of games going on, but if Justin Byrd hears about maybe a pickup game or something, I feel like you're showing up looking for some live ABs.
Yeah. Eastfield College is right down the street from my house. My dad coaches there, and so I'm blessed to have that space where I can go and get some work in and face some college pitchers and just give back a little bit. And you start to, when you put yourself out there, you end up getting a lot, but you're also able to give a lot. And so it's just kind of one of those things where anytime I can get on a field with a younger team or a college team or other pro guys that are looking to find their way in. And we had a guy out here the other day that was wanting to throw, and I'm just in the stadium and I want to pitch. And so I got in there and had a live at bat against him, and Billy caught an eye, and you never know what can happen when you're on the field with certain people because it's a network relationship business. And so, man, I love it.
You mentioned giving back and interacting with the fans. We've seen you interact with some fans on Facebook this offseason, and I don't know if that's something the Airhogs have ever really had in a player before where, you're really, really willing to reach out and have a conversation in the offseason, kind of like some of those NBA players on Twitter, right?
I care. I genuinely care, man, and I don't know – I can't speak for other ball players. I know early in my career it's so easy to just be overwhelmed with I'm a professional baseball player and I got to laser focus on what I'm doing, and you kind of make it all about yourself. But the longer you play and the more thankful you become for just the simple opportunities like having a job, the reason why you have that job and the reason we even go out there and get to play baseball every night is because of the fans that show up and pay their hard-earned money to watch you play. And that's just so important to me. I love people, and I love giving back. And I was pumped. I signed my contract, and you probably saw, I was like, man, first 3 people to text me, get some tickets. And I put my personal phone number on there. My wife was like, hey, what are you doing? And I don't even care. I want people to call me. I want to interact with people because that's truly what matters. At the end of the day, we're going to play baseball for about this amount of time, but we have a potential to impact people for the long term, and again, that long term mindset is what's going to make us all happy.
And you're absolutely right. One of the coolest things about working in the industry we do is we see the future of the game coming through the gates every single night. And I truly think is when it comes to this league, our league does such a great job of interacting with those young fans. You see so many outfielders warming up in left and right field, throwing to the kid on a berm.
Right.
What's it like for you to be able to come in every night knowing I'm probably going to make some kid's day today?
It's fun. It's genuinely, it's fun. It makes you realize what you have. I mean, it hits you in the face. And if you can't realize that, then you got bigger issues, because when you have a little kid that's out there, the biggest smile on his face just from you doing a simple thing like tossing a ball to him, it really puts things into perspective, and you can't be anything but humbled by it. So it's neat to be able to impact those kids in such a positive way just by doing simple things that really don't take a lot of time or effort from us, you know.
So let's kind of turn the attention a little bit to some of your off-season preparation. You've mentioned before the importance of getting live at-bats in the off-season. Why is that so important opposed to doing just cage work and tee work? In today's baseball, you don't come into spring training looking to get warm anymore, right? You come into spring training ready to play.
Ready to go. You know, this will be my 6th year of pro ball. I know I can hit. I know I can play. Of course, you want to tweak things here and there. I mean, Tiger Woods has a swing coach, right? We all need an extra set of eyes, or we need to kind of get in the lab and do some mechanical work from time to time. But the longer I've played, the more I've realized that if I just put myself in a good position to compete at a high level and have my timing ready to go by the time I get into camp, then I'm set myself up for success. You know, if I can not think about mechanics during a game, during an at-bat, and just simply be on time and compete at a high level, I'm going to be successful. And so that's kind of what I've shifted my focus towards during the off season, is not so much nitpicking the little things, but knowing, man, it's okay. If I hook a ball, it's a double, you know, instead of just being so adamant about making everything perfect, because there's just nothing perfect in this game.
You know, when you first joined the team last year, you were talking about how fortunate you were to get that second shot in Grand Prairie after you started your career here with the Airhogs. What was last year like for you, playing in front of the home fans? And I know you're excited to play this year. Yeah. What's it going to be like to really, as Zach and I coined them, to have those bird watchers back again?
It's awesome. I mean, it's just I've been blessed in Dallas to be a part of a lot of different things, and to be from here and to know a lot of people, and a lot of those people have supported me throughout my entire career. And when I'm playing in California or Chicago or Cleveland or wherever it may be, you know, people just don't get to follow you like they want to. And so to be close to home and have the just immense amount of support that people have always had or given me, but just haven't been able to show, it's great that they can show that now. And I'm just so thankful and honored to have them close to be able to perform and I guess put on a show, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to entertain. So be able to entertain those people that have been watching from afar for so long.
So when you sit back, and I'm not sure how often you do this, but when you look at what the things you've already done here in the game, you know, you played at San Jack Junior College, which by many accounts one of the best community college, JC college level baseballs in Texas, if not the country.
Absolutely.
You won a national championship at Cumberland University. Do you sit back and realize, like, man, I've had a really cool career at any point?
At this point, I do. You know, early on, it's, again, you want everything now. It's like, and then when you don't get it, you're so disappointed, and it doesn't matter how much you achieve, you're always chasing something, right? And this game is a game of failure, so you let that failure take precedent over the little successes, and it just beats you up. But now at 27, 6 years deep into pro ball, I mean, it's been 10 years since I was at San Jac almost, and you really are able to take a step back and just be so thankful for the journey and the process as a whole. And it allows you to appreciate the successes more than you ever even care about the little failures and speed bumps in the road, you know. And so, yeah, it's really, really neat. I try not to get too enamored by what happened in the past, because I'm still playing and I'm still wanting to persevere and to grind and be present. But every once in a while, it's cool to take a step back and be like, man, it's been fun. It's been fun for sure, but it's not over. Yeah. And so maybe one of these days when it's completely over, I'll be able to really sit back and know, wow, you did something special, even though I didn't achieve my dreams. And I want to elaborate that on for a minute, if that's okay. We got a little bit of time.
Sure. Not
much, but you know, you talk to pro guys all the time, especially independent guys that have been in AA and AAA, and they never made it to the big leagues, right? Because growing up, our dream is to play in the big leagues, and that's what we do, from being at San Jac to you know, Division I's, and you know, playing ball and putting in all this time and mastering the craft. We do it to make it to the big leagues and achieve this ultimate goal. And so as minor league players, as independent players, when we don't achieve that goal of making it to the big leagues, we feel like failures. And that's a hard thing, because people say, oh, you're playing pro ball, you're getting to travel all over the country, you're getting paid a little bit, you're the top 1% of all baseball players out there, but yet you feel like a failure because you didn't achieve the pinnacle of that. And so that's a hard thing to kind of deal with mentally, because we are successful, right? We're incredibly successful and we get to do some amazing things. because of the time we've spent perfecting a craft, but there's still part of us that feels like we're not achieving what we set out to achieve, and that's burdensome at times. And so it's just an interesting dynamic. So I would encourage you to ask some other players about that too. That might be a good question if you want to get philosophical and kind of talk life, because to the outside we're so successful, right? Oh, man, you've done some amazing things. You get to play in front of fans every night, but deep down there's still part of us that feels like failures. And it's something that when you can overcome that and really be appreciative for the journey as a whole and the process as a whole, and look back and be like, man, I've really achieved some amazing things. You become better. You become a better player, a better human.
Because what's tough too, right, is every kid that's in the stadium out there, they'd trade spots with you in a minute, right? And as a kid, you didn't care that if it was single A, double A, independent, or major league. Yeah. That was a pro baseball player. Yeah. That's all you can wrap your mind around. And now as we get to this level, there is that distinction of, man, I would do anything to get to double A. And the double A guy is saying, I would do anything to get to triple A. And the triple A guy obviously is an injury away from a chance in the big leagues. And you're right, you're the top 1%, if not even more, right? You might be in the top 0.5%, especially at the quality that this league plays at. There are guys, there are no doubt in my mind, you see Madsen get picked up from our team and pretty much go straight into AAA. Josh Prince went straight into AAA and hit 300 once he got there out of this league. These guys can go get it here, and it's frustrating because a lot of times it feels like it's timing, right? It's situation. There's 5 outfielders ahead of you. You're a second baseman in the Astros organization when Biggio was there or something like that.
And you start to realize that there's so much in this game that you can't control, and it's not even just baseball; it's life in general. You can put yourself in the best position to achieve success, but ultimately there's so many other factors that are not controlled by us. That really only, the grace of God and just having an understanding that there's a purpose for your life, allows you to sleep at night, because otherwise you're just going to be so pinned up and frustrated about things you can't control, and it's just going to eat you alive. So there's big league talent on this field every night, and that's what I want to encourage to the fans is, man, there's big league talent. And the Chinese guys are the best of the best in one of the largest countries in the world.
And I guarantee you too, if Yang Jin was made available at 19 years old playing shortstop the way he was to major league teams out there, they'd be all over that guy. They'd love to get their hands on a 19-year-old who plays like that.
You just put it into perspective. I mean, these guys are achieving so much coming from a country that's not as blessed athletically as we are here. And so that's something that would fire me up as a fan to come out and watch, because I know these guys, although they're not necessarily up to the caliber that we are on a day in and day out basis from a broad scope, just because we've been blessed with so much more, they are elite. And if you just put it into perspective about the things and the things that they've gone through to get to where they are, that's something worth watching. It's something worth paying a ticket for, or buying a ticket for. So there's just so much we can't control, and timing is key. You come up, like you said, Biggio, second baseman in the Astros organization, or a shortstop in the Yankees organization behind Jeter. You could
third
be
baseman behind Chipper.
We could go on all day long. Sometimes you can't control things, and you have to find a way to be content. And I don't mean content with failure, but just content with the process and content with the opportunities that you have had, because the opportunities I've had have been so much greater than 99.9% of the opportunities that a lot of baseball players have. So I find comfort in that, and I'm super thankful for it.
And I'm sure too, one of the things that you find comfort in is that home life, right? Because a lot of baseball players don't realize, or not even baseball players, fans, they don't realize how hard this life is on the significant others. Mm-hmm. I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and one of my favorite ones is hosted by Colin McHugh, a pitcher in Major League Baseball, whose wife traveled with him at every minor league stop, and she had to wait tables. She made wedding invitations for side money. There's all sorts of things that people don't realize the player's wife has to go through. Talk a little bit about, if you're comfortable with it,
how
your wife kind of keeps you happy and keeps you afloat.
She, first of all, she's incredible. She's pursuing her dreams as well. She works in TV and film, and we're high school sweethearts, so we've grown up together. We started dating at 15 and 16 years old, and from the beginning, we were just very open about the dreams that we wanted to chase. And instead of pulling each other away from those dreams, we kept encouraging each other. And to this day, she's the one that nudges me in the morning and says, hey, get up and go work out. Or, hey, get up and go hit or throw or whatever it may be. Or, hey, you need to go see Tim and do an interview. Those are important things. And she understands that. And to have her I genuinely don't know if I would be the same player on the field without having that structure at home, that constant support, because she's the one that keeps me from eating myself alive. You know, as a single ball player that's just hyper focused, you tend to focus a lot on the failures and what you're not doing. And having her at home that doesn't allow me to focus on failure, but only on, you know, the work and the progress and the successes, it makes a huge difference and something you just can't put a price on.
Yeah, it's great that we got a chance to talk to Travis last year about it. You know, it was the first season really he was able to live and play at home with his wife for the first time. And, you know, being able to go home and see your significant other every day, it doesn't matter if you win or you lost, you've got that hour with each other to just decompress. We'll go get him again the next day. And it helps you, like you said, be a better ball player.
No doubt. You know, I leave the stadium and instead of going home and feeling like I need to, you know, go hit or go throw or go do something, right? It's just go home and just be me and be a family man and love on those that are close to me and care about me. And it allows you to come back the next day with a fresh, clean mindset. So it's invaluable, man. I can't put a price on it. You're starting to see that in your life, I bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, last time we talked to you, you kind of started getting into the world of TV and film yourself. You were in a movie with who I think was the best on-film president ever with Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
You were doing a little bit of a photo shoot yesterday.
I did.
What's the world in front of the camera looking like for Justin Byrd these days?
Man,
lately?
as ball players, we put on a show every night. That's what we get paid to do. We touched on that a little bit. You know, we're nothing without the fans, and the entertainment world is the entertainment world. It's all to get people out of their reality, right? And that's why they come to a ballpark after a long day's work, to get out of their reality and watch some guys do something cool. And so it's been an easy transition for me to just jump into some TV and film, modeling and acting. And it's so new and it's unique. We were talking about them, you know, sitting there yesterday in a chair getting makeup put on me and my hair done. And it's totally different, but there's a lot of similarities. And it's unique, man. I love pursuing new things. I'm passionate about taking opportunities that God gives me and seeing what I can make of them, because there's a reason people are put in your life. And so this isn't something I necessarily sought out, but something that's just kind of fallen in my lap and something that I'm just running with. It's not conflicting with baseball whatsoever at all. I'm able to wake up in the morning and train and prepare my body and my mind. But now I can
probably goes hand in
kind of.
hand.
It really does, because I can put
model at the end of the day.
I can put this you know, good-looking athletic body, so to speak, that I work so hard on simply for just on-field purposes to use in front of the camera or off the field, and the financial burden that we carry as minor league baseball players and not really earning a lot of money throughout the year. And you see so many guys that have to resort to coaching and doing lessons and just anything to make ends meet during the off season. This is a lucrative avenue, a very lucrative avenue that could potentially open the door for long-term success, to where I can genuinely play baseball for a longer period of time without my wife saying, "Hey, we need to make more money. It's time to hang them up." It's something that I can support my family with, stay in shape, keep the entertainment mind, and play baseball for a long period of time.
So when's the movie coming out? When can we expect the red carpet invite?
12 Mighty Orphans. I played a referee, just a little background part. Wasn't major, but it was neat. Martin Sheen, Luke Wilson, and some other guys. Robert Duvall was in it, and that's supposed to.
It's just some small actors.
That's supposed to come out around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it's that classic football movie. Great story, but yeah, go check it out. It's the end of around Thanksgiving, I believe, is the date for it. But man, my long-term goal with this, and again, I'm really working hard on the long-term mindset with all of this. It's not just something I want to do today to be a model and an actor and a professional baseball player, and I really don't want to make it about me. I'm starting to see a way for minor league players, baseball players, to get into the other side of the entertainment business and provide for themselves and their families so that they can continue to pursue their dreams. There's so many opportunities on the TV and film side of things and the modeling side of things that us as baseball players and our personalities and what we're used to doing on a daily basis, man, we fit right into that side of things as well. but it's not something that's ever really. You see the big leaguers, Christian Yelich doing ESPN's or the Sports Illustrated Body magazine and the issues, and
how many baseball movies are made?
Oh my gosh!
Maybe a minor league guy could have played. The guy getting a double in the
exactly,
30. There's so many opportunities.
There's so many opportunities, but it's not something that minor league guys have typically tapped into because you see, big leaguers have access to it, but I'm not that guy, so I can't do it. That's totally not true. So my long-term goal is to kind of find a way to bring it all together to where I can help minor league guys or facilitate the opportunity for minor league guys to make a living doing some TV and film work in front of the camera during the off season and still play baseball and prepare to be big leaguers. So
there it is. Always think about others.
Hey man, that's what it's all about. That's why we're here, right?
Absolutely. So, Justin, I don't know. As always, this one kind of got away from us a little bit. A little 10-minute chat turns into
forever,
20.
Man, I'm cool with it.
I always enjoy it, man. I'm beyond excited to have you back on the 2020 team. I've mentioned to everybody that we talked to. I got a feeling about the team this year. We finished really strong last year. We've got a great group of guys. I think the pitching staff coming back that we have is pretty solid, and I think the Airhogs are going to make a little bit of a run in the South this year.
No doubt. You see some guys on social media that are like, oh, they're just this or that because there's such a stigma attached to the Texas Airhogs. But, man, there's great people in this clubhouse, in the front office. It really is a great organization. And, man, we have nothing but the world in front of us, so we're going to go get it.
Yeah, and hey, when we start that first homestand 5-1, don't act all surprised because we called it here. Justin,
we got great talent, man.
We appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll have you on again before the season starts.
Anytime.
Be right back after this.